Peace and love, family. Y'all got to forgive me for a minute. I'm outside right now with my pit bulls, but we are live. Yes, indeed. Family, let's get right to work. Immigrants ain't build no damn America. Therefore, immigrants don't deserve no reparations. Let me tell you what immigrants do deserve. They deserve to get ICE called on them. Yes. And I'm talking about all the ones who came here illegally, hopping borders, jumping borders, skipping everything, disrespecting foundational black Americans, past, present, and future. That's what they deserve in the United States of America. A good old-fashioned ICE phone call and mass deportations. So you got all these tethers who are in politics, always with the Democratic Party, by the way, because remember, y'all, we coined the term a tethercrat, because whenever you see a tether, you see a Democrat. Whenever you see a Democrat, you see a tether. So therefore, you have all of these tethered Democrats who are in office, and they always seem to support anti-black American policies. They always seem to support immigrants coming over here to America unlawfully. And then they always seem to get mad when foundational black Americans lay down that delineation, separating, basically telling them they not like us, never have been. Because family, what you see right now is them trying to hand everything over to the tethers before them tethers get escorted back to their S-hole homelands. This is why you're starting to hear the reparations talk pop up. There's no coincidence that as soon as the Ghanaian president came over to the UN and started talking about they deserve reparations for the transatlantic slave trade, immediately following that, this Punjabi tether lady who didn't come to America until after she'd been to 3 or 4 different countries, she starts talking about immigrants deserve some type of reparations and ICE agents need to go to prison. Fam, the Democrats are going full bore for the immigrants. And our answer to that is foundational black Americans is hell no, hell no, hell no. You ain't build nothing in America. You ain't create nothing in America. You ain't created no tangibles, no resources, nothing that people benefit from. You ain't contributed to the wealth of this country. Family, is this where we are with the Democrats? This is why their plantation is all the way on the ground getting stepped on. Now they want to give reparations to people who ain't ever built nothing in America. So basically anybody can just show up and come to America and say, hey, let's get reparations. Do you know how much that will open up the floodgates for people to come to America? Not only can you come over here and evade the law, not only can you come over here and have a dual allegiance to all them other 7 countries that you're from, you can come over here to America now and get reparations. Family, that's an open check. You already were getting reparations from Joe Biden. EBT cards, high-rise hotels, getting cuisine from your homeland. Now every single dusty, rusty, and always musty person from every single corner pocket of the planet gonna say, these are giving away free reparations checks over there in America. Let me flee over there and go get me a bag. Y'all see what the Democrats are doing? The Democrats now are basically having a casino for tethers, where all you can do is show up and you can hit the jackpot. And when Americans call that out and the Democrats lose elections, they want to cry foul. You're going to be crying then. Because let me tell you what's happening. Black Americans is getting even more on code. And black Americans is delineating even further. They didn't like delineation yesterday. What you gonna do when you get delineation with some regulation? You gonna be broke down. And if you're watching, that's exactly what's happening. This is why they're having conversations right now as we speak about birthright citizenship. This is why mass deportations are occurring. This is why foundational black Americans is on team couch. And we telling them off rip, don't wait for us in the midterms. Don't be hoping we gonna come save you. You ain't seen not near piece of evidence that shows black Americans is gonna get off that couch. We are more devoted to the couch today than we were in the last election. So what you think gonna happen in the next election? I love us, y'all. I love us. I love our energy. We shutting it down. We letting everybody know. Reparations is for foundational black Americans, because foundational black Americans built this country. Fam, now everybody want to get reparations for not building nothing. You notice that, y'all? And the reason why they do this is because they're scared. They're spooked. They don't know where their next bag is coming from. They don't know where their next vote is coming from. They don't know where their employment's going to come from, because we already ruined careers. Why you think Jasmine Crockett right now is in shambles? Because we ruined her career. That's exactly why. Family, they got option A and option B. Option A is to sell out black folks and hope you can win, and then have you a nice, long, luxurious candidacy where you get money. And then option B is foundational black Americans break you, ruin your career, and now you become a two-bid failed politician. Family, we done made option B a reality. And that's why these folks is having a hell of a hard time dealing with us. I love the energy we on right now, family. FBA built this thing, so all money gonna come to us. You ain't gonna take taxpayer dollars and go give it to the illegals. And think about that, y'all. Say if illegals did get reparations, we'd end up having to pay for it. Because it's the same thing they tell us. What do they always tell us, fam? They say, who's gonna pay for reparations? Now, it's funny how they always want to question who's gonna pay for reparations when it comes to us. But they don't ever want to talk about who gonna pay for reparations when it comes to illegals getting it. So basically, essentially, theoretically, the Democrats are trying to make black Americans pay for reparations to illegal immigrants. I'll be damned. I'll see every last one of y'all at the unemployment office and the unemployment line because y'all all be a bunch of unemployed Democrats. How about that one? The demon rats. How about that? Because we got the power to do so, fam. And that's exactly what we're doing. We flexing our muscle. And there's going to be a lot of people trying to tell us leave them alone. There's going to be a lot of people saying be nice to them. And every time somebody says that, we going to say mind your own business because we standing on business. Certified, baby. And as we do over here, fam, we got a whole list of people from Democratic politicians to Democratic podcasters. But all the Democrats is going to get packed up as we go to work. Let's go, family.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what happened. The woo, the truth. Did you want to come back up here before I move forward? I'm going to try to bring you back up here again. You're on.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all feeling?
Hey.
Yes, I just want to piggyback on what you guys were talking about with the leave me alone statement that they does. Like Tedder's, yeah, I believe they doing that. These content creators doing that as well as they doing that in these streets as well. If you look at it, a lot of black Americans that's actually in these streets, they are being targeted on jobs. They're getting fired due to Tethers. My sister, she even told me about it. She said she was working at a healthcare in Charlotte, and some Tethers got her in trouble. So this stuff is going on with these Tethers. They going at these politicians that are actually doing things for black Americans as well.
I see what you're saying, brother. You're saying that these individuals cloak themselves in our identity, and then they do things in our name and make it look like they're coming down on us.
Yes, sir.
I know what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. Yeah, they do that on the job, and they be like, we black, 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 black. And then they be the main ones getting you fired. Or from what you're saying, I don't know about what you're saying, but if it's what you're saying it is, then they run up on certain politicians and make it look like, well, this is the sentiments of all black people.
Exactly.
I follow that, family.
Man, that's all I want to say, man. Thank y'all for y'all patience.
But I want to go to this next podcaster, and this has been a problem. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've never, ever watched a Breakfast Club episode ever since it's been on. The only time I see the Breakfast Club is if someone posts some ill nonsense that Charlamagne the Fraud has posted. I've never, ever watched them. Now, Charlamagne the Fraud, he has this podcast with that little racist Andrew Schultz, the two brilliant idiots. So the other day, Charlamagne the Fraud was on a podcast with that racist, the same one that wanted to buck break Kendrick Lamar, the same one that liked to disrespect black women. So Charlamagne the Fraud was on the podcast, had the nerve and accused Michael B of staging that outburst that came from that racist man that had Tourette's. So he said that Michael B set the whole thing up to ensure an Oscar, as if Michael B didn't deserve what he got. See, now that Netflix gig, from what I hear, is not doing so well. So when I go to Netflix, I go to Netflix to watch movies, documentaries, and stand-up comedy. Ain't nobody trying to go to no Netflix to watch no podcast. So again, all of these podcasters are coming after us, and they're getting the bag to do so. I don't know if y'all still watch it. I do not watch this at all. They all have a handler, and they're all out here doing the bidding for their handlers. Now, when Charlamagne stopped doing the bidding for his handlers, because I'm pretty sure you guys know, you better believe that they're going to bring back them SA charges against him that got brushed under the rug. So the closer that we get to midterms, we just going to be getting attacked by every angle of the podcasters, all of them. The shills have turned into the podcasters. Those are the new shills. Those are the new Democratic shills, the podcasters now. But as soon as he stopped doing the handling, because like I said, I heard that Netflix podcast nonsense is not doing so well. So as soon as all this stuff take place and they can't get us to put delineation down and they fail at whatever their handlers have them doing, watch when I tell you, because the Netflix already done failed. Now he over there with Andrew Schultz accusing Michael B of setting up that Bafta outburst from that racist. Oh, best believe that they're going to bring them SA charges out on Charlemagne the fraud again. Trust me when I tell you. Did you have anything to say, Alpha?
I'm glad you brought that dude up. This is a guy that should have never existed in the community. He's a product of no gatekeeping. Dude got them same charges that you just mentioned. Nobody said nothing. They let him slide. They let him get away with stuff. And he's a clear Democratic shield. He thinks he's slick. What he does is every little room he's in, he'll try to cater to it. If y'all notice, whenever he has a street rapper on, he starts talking overly with slang. He starts acting like a tough guy. He'll start talking all this tough gangster stuff whenever he got a street dude on there. And then when he get around that W, he starts saying the W things. He's the one who founded Schultz. He created Schultz. This is the guy who escorted Schultz into the room. Remember, y'all, leaves them alone. That's the product of leave him alone. He's the guy who made him big. He gave that guy a platform to come on in and to talk all the talk. And Schultz just took it and turned it into a top 5 supremacist in America. And that's all because of Charlemagne. I was one of the main guys when Birdman went up in there. I was hoping Birdman moved some furniture on him. Everybody thought it was funny. Look at Birdman. Birdman about to cry. I didn't think it was funny. I don't appreciate the fact that when you go up there and you run a little mouth while you in that little space and you got the little security and then you spill all this negative stuff. I like when Dame Dash was just checking him a few months ago. I loved it. I was hoping Dame Dash got busy with him. Charlemagne's the same guy that got robbed at Finger Point. Okay. He's the same guy that got snatched on by Lil' Kim people and he took off running and hit a track meet. That guy is nothing more than a Democratic shield and he tries to camouflage it up real nice to try to fool people. I've never rock with that guy at all. And he's the main person that'll escort these individuals. I'm hearing Dr. Kubar is about to be on that broadcast and they're going to be talking about pretendians. So you see how they play that game. He wants to perpetrate like he's some type of real brother. And fam, you can look at that dude right then and there and tell he ain't no damn real brother. Okay. Envy as well. Remember that little fraud scheme that Envy had as well too now. And Envy runs around and says he's a black man. Nah, bro, you got some damn Latino up in you, partner. Nice try. But that is another one of these people. And like you just said, the new shield is the podcaster because we have got all the politician shields fired. We got all the news anchor politicians and all the X ones fired. And then now we're getting all of these people fired because if you want to come into the game of streaming and you want to come into the game of broadcasting, you swimming with some sharks and you can't drown the sharks. Because we exist in a space nobody can exist in. And the real certifieds have taken this thing over. And all the leaves them alones, your ass can leave right out the door with them. And we gonna take your ass like Uncle Phil and toss your ass out.